lot different than Zoom. It's so nice to be here in San Francisco. It's my first time. This is my first book, and I'm going to read from the first chapter. It's called Shea Butter in the Sun. It's about a guy named Chauncey who wakes up one Sunday morning with morning wood and a message from a stranger. Chauncey's dick was up and standing before he was. There was sleep still stuck in his eyes when he finally committed to opening them. Then he instinctively pulled his phone, still wired to his charger, off the nightstand. Before he ever saw true daylight, he was staring into his unlit phone screen. For him, nearly every morning began here in this darkness. Chauncey woke the phone up with his thumb. It was nearly 11 o'clock. Too late to surprise his mother and meet her for Sunday service like he halfway hoped to do today. She would have liked that. This slight disappointment dissipated quickly once he caught sight of the list of notifications waiting for him. An email reminding him that his next credit card payment was soon due, a tag in the drunk pic his friend Emilion had posted last night, and a club text already advertising tonight's festivities. And then there was MENAFTER10. It had missed him while he was sleeping, recovering from his Saturday night out. 6 new messages had come in overnight, making his total unread messages 683. Chauncey was all too aware that his flat stomach and fat ass gave him a sort of VIP privilege on the app, and that explained his ever-active inbox. Most of the 683 messages he'd accumulated in his years online, he mentally discarded upon delivery because they were sent by someone with no dick at all or no dick worthy of his attention. He tapped the app's neon-colored icon. It was in the shape of the number 10. The number 1 was a model-esque male silhouette sporting a beard and a backwards-facing basketball cap. The 0 was a fat circle with a tight, tiny hole. The phone filled with the app's background of irradiated blackness. It went with its theme, after hours. MENAFTER10's other colors were various shades of glowing neon. Public pics were bordered in hot pink, and a red light district red was outlined around the private ones. Its black and white text alternated inside either dollar bill green or fluorescent violet text bubbles. With the app open now, Chauncey wasn't Chauncey Lee. Here he was red and ready 69, identifiable only by the pics on his profile. Here he wasn't 24, he was 23. MENAFTER10 didn't require anyone's date of birth, so it was up to each user to update their ages after each birthday, manually. Chauncey hadn't gotten around to that just yet, so I'm sure he was 23. The light-skinned man lying in bed, cradling his cell phone, matched the rest of the stats listed closely, if not exactly. He stopped just the slightest bit short of the 5'6" he'd generously given himself, and there was a 4 or 5 pound difference from the 145 pounds he weighed online. But he wore these extra pounds well, and in a way that didn't really show. As his profile so perfectly put it, Chauncey was a slim, thick shorty. And slim, thick was always in on MENAFTER10. Chauncey didn't bother opening the first of the 6 awaiting messages. Red and Ready 69 had a very strict no pic, no reply policy. Hey bro, wanna make some? It was only spam. So he didn't open the next one either. The third message was legit. Sup? Dry, but legit. Chauncey opened Route to Busboy's profile, hoping he had something to make up for what he lacked in words. According to his profile, Route to Busboy was a 28-year-old, 6 foot tall, masked top down for fun. With only a headless torso as his profile pic, Chauncey couldn't argue much against the claim. There wasn't a lot there. But Chauncey extracted enough from what little Route to Busboy offered about himself to gather some interest. There was something about the scrawniness of his waist that suggested something bigger lay beneath the band of the black boxer briefs. His imagination filled in with a pic cropped out. And as that picture grew in his head, so did the formation that protruded perpendicularly from his bikini briefs. He saw a new potential in the faceless stranger, so much potential that even a simple sub seemed charming enough. And even though Route to Busboy's profile stated no games or lanes allowed, every message, every move from here on out would be made to either play or get played. This was MENAFTER10. Route to Busboy. Just waking up, man, horny as fuck. Red and Ready 69. Saying, damn, wish I was there. About the busboy. Unlock? On MENAFTER10, unlocking was about the same as undressing. Chauncey, for a moment, hesitated at this request, or was it command, to be the first to get naked. Unlike the stranger he was messaging, Chauncey's profile pic featured an actual face. A smooth skin, shirtless selfie from the shoulder up, with a wide smile that showed off white, straight teeth. Even with the silver-studded earrings, 2 to each ear, and the Roman numerals tattoo of his birthday on his shoulder blade, this picture captured remnants of innocence in the yellow-brown hues of his young face. The second public pic was less decent and showed Chauncey in the sterile light of the bathroom, holding a phone in front of the mirror in need of cleaning. He wore only gray and blue boxer briefs, which showed off an ample ass that stretched the limits of the cotton underwear, as well as his six-pack of abs. His rose-colored lips were curved crookedly upwards as he stared at his own reflection, throwing a sly smirk at himself. Then there were the private pics, the nudes. The first of these had Chauncey stomach down across the same teal sheets he had draped across the bed now, but in dimmer lighting. The underexposure of the light, combined with the overexposure of the camera's flash, was harsh, but highlighted his soft and shaven, muscly backside. The remaining nudes similarly centered around his ass at different angles and positions, each one more exquisite and explicit than the last. Chauncey unlocked the profile so that Bouts a Busboy could see the private pics and confidently messaged, "You're welcome, LOL." Then he waited for the awe, the adulation. He waited a few seconds more for what he was sure to be a drool emoji or maybe a wagging tongue. When those didn't appear, he waited longer until a minute had passed, then another minute, and then a few more. Chauncey had sent his wholly nude self out into the infinite digital universe and had wondered, where had it gone? Had his nakedness gone unnoticed? Was it unseen or unimpressive and unworthy of acknowledgement? As familiar as these questions and their implications were to someone with Chauncey's online experience, they still frightened him. The anxiety he felt as time passed was enough to make him lose his heart on. He began refreshing the app to update it and show the last time Bouts a Busboy had viewed his now fully open, out on the line profile. Last viewed 48 seconds ago. Chauncey blinked twice. So that was it, he thought. This was one of those guys that like to play the pick game. This game was played unfairly by those that trick private pics out of others under the pretense of a mutual exchange. This was exactly why Chauncey usually enforced a strict unlock for unlock policy. Just as he thought to relock his profile, a new message came through. Nice. And suddenly everything in the world outside the bedroom, the world he hadn't even walked out into yet, made sense again. Thank y'all.